Hi everyone, Crypto Cafe here from Gamestation, and today I'm joined by C from Kitsumon. As you know, Kitsumon are good friends of ours, so we're very, very excited about them doing their land sale here at Gamestation on the 26th of October. And we want to let you know how you can get involved with a very, very, very excited gleam that is taking place. Five winners with a chance to win 100 up to 100 USDC. And it's just very simple to do. Just complete the task, and we'll leave the link for everything. So it'll be very easy for you guys to take part. We'll leave the link below. As mentioned, I'm here joined by C from Kitsumo, and he can run you through all the great utilities of the land sale. Hi, C.
Hey Kathy, how you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, yeah, a lot going on and very crazy few months despite the market and everything. But as people say, like there's massive opportunity for development and some exciting things. So yeah, for sure, looking forward to going through these awesome things with you right now.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being here. This is really exciting. Really excited for the land sale. So yeah, just run us through everything.
Yeah, sure. I guess yeah, of course. It's a big milestone for us. The year has been very strong.
Yeah,
We obviously had the I know with you guys way back in February,
I
which
know.
seems like it was yesterday, but here we are, further down the line towards the end of the year, and a lot has happened. We've had like the breeding gameplay launched a couple of weeks ago, which gives people the opportunity to combine their two parent kitsus and create the hybrids, which is great for the marketplace. It's great for people's interaction and building their kitsu decks ready for the MOBA and the professions when they launch early next year. But of course, today running through some of this land aspect. So you rightly said, Kathy, and the reason we're here today is obviously Gamestation being an absolute brilliant partner of ours for some time. It was only right, of course, that they were to be the Launchpad host as well for the land sale that's coming up. So I'll give you a quick top overview of the land sort of process at the moment, and then we'll go into a bit more of an information piece around the land types and how it interlaces with the profession side, because the guys out there probably want to know as well, like, why do I need land, or what land do I want, this kind of
Yeah.
thing. So there's loads of different questions around land. Some people just think it's a plot of land and it just sits there, but for our aspect of the game, there's a lot more to it. So yeah, let's just jump into that. As you mentioned, there'll be a Gleam campaign shortly after this video with further details to keep an eye on the socials. But the actual launch pad, as Kathy said, 26th of October. So it sounds like a bit far away, but it's not. Only a few weeks. And the advantage, or the main advantage as well, of course, not just being from the great launchpad like yourselves, but of course the price module of everything is slightly different as well. So we have like the private sales here, which is open to sort of our general community that's out there already, and other initiatives that we're doing. Launchpad's had the advantage of the $75 price per plot of land. So in comparison, you can see on the screen here, the batches for the private sale are slightly higher than that. So the advantage of getting early and on Launchpad is, of course, that extra saving on the land plot itself. Now, we will go into a bit of detail about like what kind of land types there are and the different tiers and things, because that's obviously very beneficial to understand this. But the idea behind it is that it'll be a mystery box format. So you're basically buying a plot of land, you don't know which land type you're going to get, or which tier structure you're going to get. And that's really cool as well, because some people buy multiple lands anyway, or land plots. This will become really good in the marketplace in the future, but also you down the professions RPG that we have, the career path, you might need to utilize other people's lands, or you might be wanting to obtain others, or swap, trade, sell, buy, all of these things. So there's a bit of utility there for like the tokenomics aspect, but also you as a player, you as a user, trying to get the land that you need, or at least utilize the land the best way possible with the profession career that you choose. So this is actually the overview map of the Kitsumon world called Terosia. So really cool. Actually, this image is further out. We will be providing content over the next few days of like really zoomed in areas, and actually like there's 25,000 land plots available. So there's a lot of tiles here. But you can see this little structure here, and you're probably wondering why, what the different colors and this, that, and the other. Well, this portrays the different kind of land types in general. There are 13 different land types, actually, and we'll go into those in a minute. But the whole point of this map as well is we've got an equator. We've got all the different mechanisms like you would feel in the real world, of heat and cool, different structured lands based on the aspect of where the land perhaps sits on the map. So it's as realistic as it possibly can be, really, and that can dictate things really down to the grassroots of what kind of trees you might have in there, what kind of agricultural land you might have in there, or some trees might not work so well in certain environments, and this, that, and the other. So there's loads of stipulations and really cool things about that. As I mentioned with the land, in fact, I've got all these different articles open, but we've actually got this massive article that we've put everything in one place for everyone. So I can literally just kind of half scroll down this quite easily. But there's an introduction here to all the different biome lands. Now, you start with some like basic ones, hence the name kind of plains, really. It's a bit of a simplistic land type. But as I said, there's 13 different here. And actually, with our overview articles of land, you can dive into every individual one of these. So, for example, I'm just going to pick out this one as an instant point here. If you scroll down these articles, you can find out everything you need to know. This is about things like your XP gaining, or even in some cases reductions, depending on what profession you have, and what kind of resources you might be able to obtain from each of these land types as well. So as you can see, as you scroll down here, you've got the 6 different professions, which we'll go on to in a minute as well. But each one might have an advantage or a disadvantage in each of the lands. And this might mean that you have to go and explore other people's lands, or try and be collaborative with other players and users. So there's a bit of a gamifying aspect to that, as well as the stipulations that you see in front of us here. But also within this, as I said, some land types might have like X% of agricultural land. It might have good quarrying aspects for mining. You might have some good water areas for obviously things like fishing and stuff like that. So that's really cool. So as I said, there's 13 different ones, loads of different variations in the kind of land type. So when we go back to that point about the mystery box, actually every piece of land is really exciting and different in its own way. So you're not like losing out or anything like this. It's just, dictating to what you might get, which might determine whether I might want something different, or like I want to use this, and then I'll choose my profession based on the land I've got and all these cool things. But we'll go into a bit more detail about that shortly as well. So yeah, as I said, different lands will have different stipulations and variations of what you do and don't do in these lands. Some even have like monsters and crazy things as well. So you've got to be always aware and all these things when those, which is really interesting as well.
Yeah.
So this is the RPG element of the game. This is launching hopefully early Q1 next year.
Okay.
But the one of the important reasons why you want land is to enhance your profession's career, but also the other things that you can do in the gameplay as well. So again, I'm not going to go through every single individual profession here, but the articles are there for that. But just for example, we could look at crafting. So obviously, if you've got a really good like woodland area, this is obviously going to be really good for crafting professions, right? But maybe you don't have such water, but you want to do things that involve like the fishing aspects. You might need to go and explore. But you see with these different professions, so bear that what we just said a moment ago about some XP going up or down depending which profession you have or what you need to do to enhance your gameplay here. You can have the aspect of, here an example of crafting, have specific tools made that could be utilizing other professions or players' items or produce or materials that they've harnessed from their land. But yeah, with crafting, of course, things like bridges, walls, all of these things that other players might need. So this is where the marketplace mechanism comes in even more from that sort of play to earn aspect. And as you go further down as well, you've got things like quests for each of the professions as well. And fishing and farming and all these things have similar aspirations. Cooking, for example, you'd use the produce of someone that was farming. And when it comes to farming, you're looking at the agricultural land of being able to harvest food, seed food, grow crops, produce, all these things that can go into the marketplace as items eventually as well. So these all kind of like play in really to the factor of why you would need land. And it
Yeah.
comes back to that aspect. Yes, some of the lands will be free to play. The game is open to everyone anyway, but for those that perhaps want to enhance their levels or their application in the game, will perhaps want to go down these routes of integration of the different professions, the different items, the different materials, all of these cool things as well. It's like farming here, for example, all the different tools that you can get from this. But as you keep scrolling down, there's even like animals and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I saw.
remember things like plants, all these things contributing to all the different professions. Alchemy, even for potions, because you might have to treat some of the trees from certain environmental diseases and stuff like that. So there's literally a magnitude spectrum of amazing things that can be done in these land aspects, land types. So that's a sort of a quick overview of the biome land types and the professions element. And of course, like that does tie in with the kitsus themselves for the rehabilitation after battles and things like this. And on that topic of battles as well, as we go into the deck here, so here's all the different biome types. All this information will be shared with you guys throughout the Glean campaign and other social stuff as well.
Yeah.
But you can see the percentage stipulations of increase, decrease. What's this good for? Not so good for? Will it increase speeds in terms of leveling up on certain aspects? But we've also got this tiered structure here as well. So the good thing about the mystery box aspect, of course, like the randomization of it, further down the line, which will show you again the pricing structure of that as time goes by, it makes it even more critical and influential for you guys to get in early. So you can see like the standardization of land types, this number 1 star here. You get sort of like the basic aspects of what you would get in most land types, as being able to accommodate yourself basic ways for like the professions aspects, buildings and things like this. As you go further down into the tiered structure, I should move my head out of the way because I'm covering the premium. So you've got like the special and the premium. So as you go higher in these tiers, of course, naturally you would get more and more things applied to the tiered structure. So as you get further, we've got things like the breeding station here, the aspect of creating the recipes, the food, produce for the marketplace and other people. Increased storage, which is obviously very important as a profession as well, because you might have a limited space for holding all your wood or whatever materials and produce that you're creating. To increase the silos and the storage aspects or tanks, whatever it might be, gives you a massive benefit, from the play to earn mechanism, but also the gameplay mechanism in general, to have that extra storage. And as you get to premium, this is where it gets really cool. So there's rare requests, rare activities for you to do from the professional career. But one thing that I love personally is the battle arenas. So you're able to build your own battle arena in your own land. This means you can accommodate things like tournaments or hosting tournaments. So great opportunity for potential branding and advertising further down the line. Creating within your own teams, within your own competitive circle. But of course, as we develop into like esports and things like this in the months to come and the years to come, of course, this can be very influential and impactful to be able to host those kind of things, get those viewership numbers and stuff like that. So there's loads of really cool stuff you can do in these lands. But yeah, that's obviously like one of the main big things there. As I said about the enhancement of breeding stations, the quest is really cool about the professions. This is what makes it really interesting from the RPG perspective, the role play, and even bigger storage sizes. So it's pretty simple mechanism here of like the further up the tiers, the more you can expect from those lands. And if I just, as I touched on just a minute ago, we're looking at this kind of like pricing structure. So as I said, there's 25,000 plots of land. So there's obviously like a limited supply anyway. As I said, some of those will be free to play because we want to be open to everyone and for people to be able to train or learn the game and things like this. But as you can see in these pricing structures, once the land sale begins, which is going to be hopefully early November, will be in November definitely, you see the pricing structure going up in batches, but you can also see on the very far right hand side the public auction prices. This is when all the launch pads are finished and the whitelisting, the staking systems all finished with their sales and purchasing. The auction prices are a lot higher. So as again, reiterating the benefit of getting in early. as you see the tiered structures, the prices go even higher. So moving back to that point about the different tiered structures, of course, you want to try and obtain the best land. And of course, in the auction stage as well, when we go back to that map point, is you will be then into obviously the bidding wars of the plots of land. So you can imagine like the most important or popular lands will be potentially even higher pricing. We've seen games in the past like Sandbox, for example, where the lands have just gone absolutely crazy, right? So that's kind of some of the things you want to think about, not just from the investment perspective, more importantly the gameplay aspect, like getting involved in there early. And to tie that up, really, this is really cool. So this hasn't launched yet. This is one of the few things that people are getting snippets of right now. We'll have some more information on this and videos in the near future. But we're building our own guild management system. So this allows people to create teams, create rankings, distribution of rewards throughout their team, allowing members to decide whether they want to join or not, or indeed like voting systems as whether people should stay in the groups or not. But the reason as well I'm putting this in this topic is because this here, the rental service. So yes, in general, people will be able to like rent out kitsus, rent out items in the marketplace and all these things. Again, to that point about the free to play mechanism, you might actually want to just rent items rather than buy them outright. This is the beauty of this game, is flexible for everyone and anyone that wants to play. But this also applies to land as well. So if you're a guild manager and you've got plots of land as a guild or as an individual that you've put into the system for your team to utilize and create produce, create materials, you're driving revenue into your guild vault system, or you're able to rent them out and obviously obtain revenues through that way as well. So that's a really cool concept. There's loads of different games out there. I think we've got a really unique proposition here across the board, because we're interlacing so many different genres, so many different aspects and platforms and management systems that's making this like really cool. So when we talk about like, why do you need land and what you need land for, we've already gone through the kitsu aspect, the breeding aspect, the professions, and the stipulations, but also, for those that do want the play to earn mechanism, there's a huge opportunity here for revenue generation as well as gameplay in both free to play format and play to earn format as well. So that's kind of a big overview. As I said, there's further information here about how the rental system works and everything that you need to know biome wise, profession wise. When you get some time, definitely recommend going through all of these different articles, especially the big overview one, because I've literally got, I know it's a long one, but it's got like everything that you could possibly ever need to know about the land sale, about the process, about everything to do with Kitsumon Land. So hopefully that's a bit of an overview for you, Kathy.
Oh my gosh, do you know what? That was a brilliant overview. You actually broke everything down so well. So I'm glad that you were here to just jump on and give everyone an overview. So if anyone wondered why they wanted to buy land sale, there's so many reasons why they should have land sale, and the importance of getting in early. And that's where the kind of whole Launchpad comes in. So thank you so much for that breakdown.
Nice.
As Steve mentioned already, we can provide you with this information also, so you guys want to sit down and read through this overview. It's got everything inside, like you said, in it, like everything's all in one place for them to read. So when you've got the time, sit there, read it. It's super interesting. I even like how you explain the whole cooking and the craft and the farming and how everything ties together. So thank you so much for that. Okay, guys, you do need to take part in this Gleam whitelisting campaign. Super exciting. 5 winners. As mentioned before, 100 USDC up for grabs, and taking part, really, really fun task to complete, very easy to do. We'll leave the link in the description for that so you guys can take part. And like Steve said, definitely read this article, well, overview, where it's going to provide all the information about the land sale in case you don't know anything, so we can provide that extra information. Also, if you follow Kitsumon on their socials, just for further announcements, anything you don't know, any further announcements, and Gamestation also, we also provide further announcements. As you know, the launch will be coming to us on the 26th of October, which is sooner than you guys think. So yeah, definitely take part in the Gleam campaign and be ready for the land sale. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on, C?
No, that's perfect, Kathy. As you said, just keep an eye on the socials for further information. as I said, the Gleam campaign will be up and running very soon and running up to that awesome event on the 26th. And yeah, just start joining things like our Discord server, because yeah, as the gameplay starts launching, that's going to be a significant area to be in and involved with the game aspect. So looking forward to all of that. But yeah, I think covered everything, and yeah, looking forward to hopefully seeing you all in Kitsumon Metaverse in the near future, exploring each other's lands. It's gonna be awesome.
That's exciting. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the guild also, but obviously we'll talk about that at a later date because that's at a later stage. But yeah, definitely excited. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it here in Gamestation. Thank you, C. Thanks for the whole Kitsumon team. And yeah, don't forget, guys, click the link. Make sure you take part in the Gleam whitelisting campaign. All right, guys, take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.
See you later. Bye.